About as wild as Black Friday shopping in 2005 was this day in news for the San Francisco 49ers. I think it spells overall to be good news, but we're going to break it all down in this video, the good, the bad, the wild, all of that news, as well as answer the important question of what aspects of Brock Purdy's game will be most important heading into this snowy, blundery game against the Buffalo Bills this Sunday night. I'm Nate. I make daily 49ers content. Please subscribe if that's what you're looking for. But starting out with the wild news, the 49ers waived wide receiver Ronnie Bell today. According to Matt Barrows, the 49ers waived Ronnie Bell, 7th-round draft pick last season. Wide receivers that are active on the roster include Deebo Samuel, Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, Jacob Cowing, Chris Conley, who's questionable, came up with an injury. I want to say Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday that Chris Conley showed up on the injury list. Maybe it was yesterday. And the team, of course, could add someone to 53. Now, of course, I'm sure your mind immediately goes to what free agents are out there. Who can we pick up on a free and add to this roster? I'm guessing that that's not going to be the way the 49ers go. I'm thinking you're going to see somebody coming up from the practice squad, like a Trent Taylor kind of guy, probably most likely. But we'll have to wait and see how this goes. And, you know, it's going to be interesting. But I think the overall news that Ronnie Bell was waived is really telling. Of course, the most important game that sticks out to you probably is the game that Ronnie Bell lost us, or at least played a part in losing, which was the dropped ball, the absolute dime from Brock Purdy that hit him right in the hands and dropped the ball in the game against the Los Angeles Rams. That would have got us the first down, that would have won us the game. And so it goes down just like that. Jake Moody missed field goal against Cleveland. We're like, well, you know what? It was the end of the game, and you were the last person who basically could have fixed the problem, and you didn't. So it was there for you. It was easy for you, and you dropped it. And so I think that's the kind of how he'll be remembered, unfortunately, from this season. There were a couple good moments, though. We'll give him some credit for some special teams plays that he had even recently. I want to say last week or the week before, had a nice special teams play. So, you know, there's something there, but unfortunately not enough for the 49ers to keep Ronnie Bell around this football team, and so Ronnie Bell's gone. I think it's interesting. We'll have to see how it all plays out, of course. Who's going to play this weekend? Ronnie Bell's gone. Players coming back. This is fantastic news for the 49ers to have both Mooney Ward and Brock Purdy back in the lineup this weekend against the Buffalo Bills. It was starting to feel really concerning for Brock Purdy coming back. There was a little bit of conversation happening where people were starting to make me wonder if maybe Brock Purdy's injury was really serious and he wasn't going to be coming back anytime soon. So the fact that he's ready to go on Sunday, the fact that Kyle Shanahan's saying basically, firstly, saying that he's going to go, and secondly, saying if he's going to go, it's because he's good and he's ready to go, then we'll take it, all right? We'll take Brock Purdy back on the field. We definitely needed him last week, and it would have made us more competitive. I'm not sure it would have meant the difference between winning and losing because our defense was so off, but I don't know. Who knows? You never know what kind of butterfly effects come from somebody being back and the team feeling confident or whatever. Mooney Ward also being another one that's really important, and this could be, unfortunately, according to most people, this could be Mooney Ward's last few games in a 49ers uniform. So fantastic to have him back, of course, after such a terrible set of circumstances for he and his family. So, thinking about them, praying for them. You should pray for them too, because that's a horrible thing that I can't even imagine. But excited to have Mooney Ward back on the field. There were definitely moments last week I was thinking about him. Really could have used him on the field, helping out this defense who was looking. That might have been the worst. Let me know in the comments. That might have been the worst defensive performance we've seen from the 49ers since 2022. Right? I don't know. Let me know if there's something in maybe like three game stretch last season. I don't know what it is, but that was rough, man. That was a rough game. Okay, moving on though. We're happy about the guys we're getting back. I've got other guys who are coming back, by the way. I don't believe it's in my notes anywhere, so I'm just going to throw out there too. Dominic Puni is back as well. He was injured and then moved to full participant today. That was great news to hear. We need him. He's been really important for us, and right now we desperately need offensive line players. We need depth at the offensive line position. It's crazy. So Trent Williams out again. Aaron Banks out as well. So your whole left side is gone. Fortunately, Jalen Moore played pretty good football last week, and so you'll take that. You really hope that he can keep that up. That would be fantastic. But then Aaron Banks, of course, being down, so we'll see who they put up there. I don't know. I think Spencer Burford's healthy, so he's probably the guy who's going to take that spot. Unfortunately for the 49ers, we also got bad news about John Feliciano. I think we talked about it a little bit, but it's looking like it's going to be the end of the season for him. And if so, he said end of his career, basically. And the downside about that, there's a lot of downsides, but the big downside for me is that Feliciano was really looking to be a center in the training camp. That's kind of how everything was shaken out. And with Feliciano not being able to play at center, and Brendel being so statistically horrible at center, just to be, put it as nicely as I can, being ranked below like second string centers in the NFL right now and below all starting centers in the NFL right now is not a good situation. So Jake Brendel, not great. And the next guy up would have been Feliciano in this situation. Could he come back healthy? Not. So you're looking at like a Nick Zakelj probably, who didn't in preseason look like an improvement in that area. I think there's an interesting conversation around Nugent coming in. I want to say undrafted free agent, or was he 7th round? He was either late or undrafted. I can't remember. Someone let me know in the comments. But Nugent was an interesting one that I thought played pretty well in preseason. You got guys like Larry Krueger who are really pumping him up, saying that he should be playing this season. So we'll see if something else can happen there, but Brendel has not been up to snuff this season, unfortunately. We've been talking about Brendel, and we have to talk about Trent Williams, who's out again, and this is kind of multiple seasons in a row where he's out at least 2 games, and this is kind of the deal that comes with Trent Williams. You get one of the best players in the NFL, but you're getting him at an older age, on his way out. He's hoping to extend it for a long period of time, but, on his way out, that's just fair to say. So it's an unfortunate to not have him for such an important game and not have him for the 2 most important games this season so far. Jordan Elliott's going to be another hit because you need every bit of help in run defense, and not having him will be felt at times. I think we felt it even in the Green Bay game. Deommodore Lenoir is another one. Like one of the most consistent players this season. I think that's how I've been characterizing Deommodore Lenoir. He's been the most consistent defensive player this whole season, and it's been really unfortunate that we are going to be without him this weekend. That's going to really hurt. I think we're going to feel that. I think we're going to see that a lot more, and it'll be interesting to see what the 49ers do in the nickel package if they move Renardo Green into the nickel position. So we'll be waiting to see how that plays out. That will be very interesting, but the 49ers definitely missing some big name players, and of course, somehow I haven't said it yet, Nick Bosa out again this weekend, and you really, really need Nick Bosa for against this offense. The one thing that you can do to frustrate this offense is to get after the quarterback. That is the pressure you get on the quarterback is what will bring back that old Josh Allen we know and love, where he's throwing those picks, and we're not going to see him throwing a whole lot of picks if there's not a lot of pressure on him. That's just the way that he's playing too good right now for that to happen. So the 49ers need that. How ready will Brock Purdy be? Brock Purdy stated that his MRI on his shoulder came back clean, and he's feeling good throughout the week throwing in practice. That's fantastic news. We need more news like that for Brock Purdy. How ready will he be, though? And what's going to be the key? What's going to be the key, right? I was talking about this. I came across this interesting article from Andrew Pasquini, Niners Nation. I think I said that name right. I might not even have typed it right. I'm not 100% sure there, so oopsies on that front. But from Niners Nation, great article, and talking about how important, something that we were just talking about like a couple days ago, how important it is to run the ball this weekend. Not just because of the weather, but because Buffalo gives up 4.9 rushing yards per attempt, 3rd worst in the league. Now, of course, that doesn't tell the full story. I'll read this little quote here. Overall, Buffalo hasn't been too bad against the run. It's allowed 119 rushing yards per game, which is the middle of the road, but they haven't faced many rushing attempts. The Bills' defense has faced an average of 24.5 attempts per game, the 7th fewest faced by any defense. Why? You can guess. because their offense has been humming. And because their offense is humming, that means that your team can't run the ball against them because you're behind and you're trying to play catch up, and so you're chucking it through the air. So unfortunately, that doesn't set up well for the 49ers if we go down early. If the 49ers, however, can put some pressure on early, can make it a little muddy for this offense, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for the 49ers to run the ball, and I think it's going to be real key in attacking this defense. Buffalo allowed 271 yards on 34 attempts in the 35-10 loss to the Ravens, and that was the outlier, so I'm not trying to act like, oh yeah, no big deal, we can do that too. But, one of the things that you'll get out of the Ravens is a great running back who's found a massive resurgence this season, and then, of course, a quarterback who can run the ball as well. And the 49ers, with Brock Purdy back, there's an opportunity there where that could be what the 49ers have to do a little bit more of. Brock Purdy's run the ball more this season than he ever has, and he's rushing more per game significantly. So, keeping the defense honest will help for sure, but also making it really difficult for the defense to determine how you're going to move the ball. That would be good. That would be a good plan from the 49ers to attack this defense, is to run the ball consistently. And as I said earlier this week, I feel like if you run the ball enough times, then that guarantees you're going to get guys like Jordan Mason in there, Isaac Grendo in there, and we'd love to see some change of pace. We'd love to see some other opportunities play out. And yes, there's a little bit of a ball security issue, but to be fair, Christian McCaffrey just fumbled last week, so maybe there's a ball security issue for everybody at the exact moment right now. It's going to be snowy, it's going to be cold, it's going to be wet. It's not going to be a fun experience, and so this is where you need kind of beast mode style running game, and I would love to see Christian McCaffrey playing his best football. I would love to see Jordan Mason, Isaac Grendo get some looks as well. I think it would bode well for the 49ers and make it very difficult to scheme against if you can run the ball really well. Running the ball early and often, but effectively forcing some turnovers and using some outside forces could help the 49ers pull off the upset in Buffalo. And as I told you guys before, in my mind, this is not just about winning. Of course, you hope you win, but it's about getting right. The 49ers need to go out there and get right. Play the right style, the right attitude, the right mentality. Play consistently. Play complementary. That's what we want to see the 49ers do. I'm not going to be devastated if they lose to the Buffalo Bills, but play a great game. If they play a great, consistent game, I'm going to be okay with that, because the Buffalo Bills are like a top 3, top 2 team in the NFL right now. So you're going up against one of the best, and you are not playing your best football. So if you can play great football and just be consistent and not make a lot of errors, man, I'm going to be pretty satisfied with that. Yes, I'd love a W. Yes, I would love a victory. And I'm sure, I say this now, it's easy to say it now. And then in the game, I'm sure, if it's close and we give up the game somehow or lose somehow, it's going to be devastating and it's going to be frustrating and all that stuff. But right now, ahead of the game, I'm telling myself, don't get your heart in it, Nate. Don't get your heart in it. Just we want to see good football, don't we? We just want to see good football, because if the 49ers can start to get some things right, and then you get all these big guys coming back from injury in these next couple of weeks here, then you could see the 49ers start to build some momentum, go on a run. That would be amazing. And hopefully it starts with my man, Christian McCaffrey, coming back healthy. That would be fantastic news. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting and being involved. It's going to be a crazy game. I'm looking forward to watching it and chatting with you all about it.